Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here with another wonderful day working with our pendulums, and I'm very excited to show you what we have going on today. So yesterday I began talking to you about what this unit was going to look like, what was going to happen, and what we were going to be working with. Now, today I'm going to show you our pendulums and begin talking with you about how we are going to run our experiment and why that's important. Okay, so our pendulums, remember, is an item swinging from one point. Okay, so before we begin, I'm just gonna talk to you and use my arm as an example. If the point they were hanging from is my elbow, this would be like the point of swing or the point of axis. Okay, so then the pendulum itself would swing back and forth from that point, and that point stays still. Okay, now with our pendulums, we're working with a few different things. Okay, I will show you this. This is our pendulum. We have a washer on the end of a piece of string. At the top, there's a loop, and that's where we will hold our pendulum from. When we run our tests, we're going to be setting our pendulum on a pencil. In this part, one end of it is going to be taped onto a table so that it can't move. Now, this is important so that all of our tests are run the same way. Now, with this particular pendulum set and with this experiment, we're testing our first variable. Notice how this one is a little bit different. We're testing the variable of string length. So if I'm testing the variable of string length, I have here 4 pendulums with varying string lengths. Okay, so I will not ever test all of these at the same time, but I wanted to show them to you at the same time here. Now, regardless of which string size we are testing, we need to make sure we use them in the same way. Okay, now to talk to you here, I'm going to use the second shortest one. So our pendulum string lengths are 52 centimeters. It's probably backwards for you, sorry. 52 centimeters, 36 centimeters, 20 centimeters, and 12 centimeters. Okay? And that matters because the length of our string is what we are measuring. So as we record the data for our test, we need to make sure that A, we're recording the data for the correct pendulum, but B, we pay attention to how the pendulums act compared to one another. Okay, so when we run our pendulum, here we have, remember, our pencil hanging from the table. My hand here will be the table, and then I'm just going to interweave it there on my finger so that it's hanging straight. When we run this test, we need to make sure that everything else stays the same between every pendulum we work with. Because the only thing we want to test, the only variable we want to test in this experiment is the string's length and how the pendulums act differently compared to one another. Okay, now I'll go into detail more with that tomorrow, but I'll give you one piece of example there. So when we're using our pendulums, we always grab them from the bottom and pull up, and we want our pendulum to be parallel to or the same as the height of the table. This is hard to do with my hand, so I will give you a better example tomorrow. Okay, but we want them parallel to the table. If we test one pendulum from up here and one pendulum from down here, we're going to get different results and they're not going to be even. We would then be testing pendulum drop height and string length as opposed to only testing one variable. Okay. That being said, if you know we're going to bring it up to the height of the table and then let go, you can probably picture what's going to happen, right? Either way, I'll show you once. Okay, and each pass from where I drop it to the other side and back is one rotation. Okay, now I'm opening up a discussion for you today because I want you to talk amongst yourselves. When I open discussions, I don't only want information from you. I want you to be able to communicate with your classmates also. So you can like and comment on their posts as well in order to share your thinking. It would be as if we were in class together and you were asked to have a group discussion. Okay, so that being said, your discussion topic today is making a prediction. You know we have 4 pendulums of varying heights, varying lengths, right? My question for you is this: what will happen when we use all of our pendulums? Will they each work the same? Will they have the same results as a pendulum of a different length? Or will they produce different results because of their string length? How will they act differently? Will they act differently? I want you to predict what will happen before we begin running our tests. Okay? That's your job today. I think that you have enough information to begin making these predictions, and I can't wait to see what you have for me today. I will see you tomorrow, and tomorrow we will begin running our tests, recording our data, and seeing what happens when we are looking at different string lengths and dropping these pendulums. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.